Welcome to Discover Journey's most chilling episode yet. Tonight, we're exploring 4 dishes that dance on the razor's edge between delicacy and death. From pandemic-suspect bat soup to the lethal artistry of Fugu, from vampire-approved blood sausages to gold-priced bird saliva soup. These aren't just meals, they're Russian roulette on a plate. Some might trigger the next global pandemic, others could stop your heart with one wrong cut, and a few might just empty your bank account faster than they fill your stomach. Ready to risk it all for a taste of danger? Let's dive into humanity's deadliest cravings. Number 1. Bat soup. When your soup might trigger another pandemic. Remember that fateful question from 2020. Where did COVID-19 come from? While the world pointed fingers at a wet market in Wuhan, China, where bats were among the suspects of starting a global pandemic, here I am, staring into a steaming bowl of what could be the next virus's origin story. The dark broth swirls before me like a cauldron of viral possibilities, a whole bat floating in the soup like a macabre garnish. Its wings, partially folded, create shadows in the broth that look like nature's own Rorschach test. The creature's face, frozen in an eternal grin, seems to mock our species' culinary adventurism. The bat, cooked whole, looks like a Gothic artist's interpretation of chicken soup. Its leathery wings spread occasionally with the movement of the broth, as if it might take flight from the bowl at any moment. Local believers claim this soup boosts immunity. Oh, the irony. Here we are, consuming the very creature that might have given us one of history's most notorious viruses, all in the name of health. The meat, when you dare to try it, pulls apart like dark, gamey chicken. Each spoonful feels like a game of viral roulette. Will this be the bowl that launches COVID-25? The herbs and spices swim around the bat like protective talismans, trying to ward off both the gamey taste and perhaps the next pandemic. Horror rating: 11 out of 10. Not just for the dish itself, but for the collective trauma of 2020 that each bowl represents. It's like playing epidemiological Russian roulette with a soup spoon. As I sit here, contemplating each bite, I can almost hear Dr. Fauci's distant screams. Somewhere in the CDC, an epidemiologist is getting a sudden chill. Remember, folks, in the world of extreme cuisine, some dishes don't just push culinary boundaries, they push epidemiological ones too. Devil. Number 2. Fugu. Dance with death on a porcelain plate. In the shadowy world of Japanese fine dining, there exists a dish so lethal that chefs require years of training and a special license just to serve it. Fugu, the infamous pufferfish, carries enough tetrodotoxin in its organs to kill 30 adults. One wrong cut, one tiny mistake in preparation, and dinner becomes your last meal. As I sit here watching paper-thin slices of fugu sashimi arranged in the pattern of a chrysanthemum, Japan's flower of death, I can't help but appreciate the dark irony. Each translucent slice is so delicate you can see the porcelain plate through it, like viewing your own mortality through a veil of culinary artistry. The thrill of fugu isn't just in its taste, it's in the gentle numbness that spreads across your lips and tongue with each bite, a subtle reminder that you're flirting with a toxin 1,200 times deadlier than cyanide. In a twisted game of culinary Russian roulette, this subtle tingling is actually what connoisseurs seek, dancing right at the edge of danger. Like the most skilled assassins, Fugu's poison leaves no known antidote, yet here I am treating death as a seasoning, as if dining with the Grim Reaper himself. It's fascinating how humans have turned one of nature's most dangerous defenses into a luxury dining experience, where master chefs train longer than some doctors just to ensure you survive your dinner. The Japanese have a saying that you haven't lived until you've eaten fugu, though the dark humor isn't lost on anyone that you might not live after eating it either. Each year, a handful of ambitious amateur chefs learn this lesson the hard way, making fugu not just a dish, but a literally breathtaking reminder of human hubris. Horror rating: 9.9 out of 10. Not just for the danger, but for the psychological warfare of knowing each bite could be your last. In the world of extreme cuisine, some dishes don't just risk your palate, they risk your pulse. Number 3. Blood sausage, where Dracula meets the butcher. Welcome to the world of blood sausage, where your dinner's main ingredient is literally the life force of animals. From British black pudding to German blutwurst, humans across the globe have found creative ways to turn blood into breakfast. Imagine a sausage so dark it absorbs light like a culinary black hole. The deep, almost black crimson casing holds within it a mixture that would make a vampire food critic weep with joy. Fresh blood, mixed with fat, grains, and spices, all packed into nature's most convenient to-go container, intestines. The texture is a horror fan's dream come true. Cut into the sausage, and the dense, rich filling has the consistency of a very firm chocolate truffle, except this truffle is made of coagulated blood. Each bite is a creamy, mineral-rich reminder that you're essentially eating scabs in tube form. While most people prefer their meat without visible evidence of its formerly living status, blood sausage enthusiasts embrace the crimson truth. It's like someone looked at a crime scene and thought, you know what? This could make a fantastic breakfast item. And surprisingly, they weren't wrong. It's delicious in the most disturbing way possible. The taste is intensely rich, earthy, and mineral-heavy, like licking a copper penny wrapped in savory meat. It's the kind of food that makes first-timers say, "I can't believe I'm eating this," followed quickly by, "I can't believe I'm enjoying this." Horror rating, 8 out of 10. The psychological horror of eating what is essentially a log of coagulated blood is significantly offset by how surprisingly tasty it is. It's like the culinary equivalent of a horror movie with a happy ending. As I finish my plate, I can't help but think that somewhere Count Dracula is taking notes on food preservation techniques. After all, this is the ultimate proof that humans will find a way to eat absolutely anything, even if it means turning blood into breakfast. Number 4. Bird's nest soup. When your dinner used to be someone's home, welcome to the world's most expensive bowl of avian real estate. Bird's nest soup isn't made from twigs and leaves. Oh no, that would be too normal. Instead, you're sipping on swiftlet bird saliva that's been harvested from cave walls. That's right, you're literally drinking bird spit worth its weight in gold. Picture this. Brave harvesters scaling treacherous cave walls on bamboo scaffolding, risking their lives to collect hardened bird saliva. These nests, carefully constructed by swiftlets using their own solidified saliva, take months to build. The birds spend countless hours regurgitating and molding their saliva into these architectural masterpieces, only for humans to turn them into soup. The nests, when cleaned, look like delicate strands of translucent glass noodles. When cooked, they dissolve into a gelatinous texture that's somewhere between honey and, well, what you'd expect solidified spit to feel like. Each bowl can cost anywhere from $30 to $100, making it possibly the most expensive saliva you'll ever consume. The taste? Imagine paying hundreds of dollars for something that tastes mostly like the chicken broth it's cooked in. The bird's nest itself has virtually no flavor. It's all about the texture, which is described as uniquely gelatinous. Yes, you're paying premium prices for the mouthfeel of bird saliva. Horror rating, 7 out of 10. Not because it's particularly horrifying, but because you're emptying your wallet to drink bird spit. And somewhere, a homeless swiftlet is filing an eviction complaint. Survived our deadly dining experience? You're now part of the culinary daredevils. From potentially pandemic-triggering bat soup to literally lethal fugu, we've danced with death through some of Asia's most dangerous delicacies. But this is just the beginning of our deadly dining adventures. Our Discover Journey channel has hundreds more life-threatening dishes waiting to be explored. Craving more deadly delicacies? Check out our Lethal Street Food series featuring venomous snakes and toxic toads, or dive into our Asia's Deadliest Cuisine playlist showcasing dishes that could be your last meal. Hit subscribe to join our fearless food family, and don't forget to like if you survived without calling poison control. Ring that bell to never miss our weekly dose of deadly dining. Drop a comment below telling us which dish scared you the most. Was it the lethal fugu or the pandemic potential bat soup? Remember, while others run from death, we eat it. See you in our next culinary Russian roulette. Devil.